Welcome to the Fluttering Blue Butterflies, where imaginations take flight, little hearts listen, curious minds explore, and grown up souls unwind. Whether you're tiny, growing, or fully grown, there's always a little magic here just for you. Let's begin. This is episode 14 of the Curious Crew playlist. Meghalaya. Rishabh and his younger sister Riya lived in the beautiful city of Kolkata. A city filled with grand old buildings, bright yellow taxis, bustling markets, and sweet shops where the smell of freshly made rasgullas floated into the streets. On rainy evenings, the gentle ding-ding of the trams echoed through the air as cool raindrops tapped softly against windows. Their parents often told them, Kolkata is a city of art, stories, kindness, and rich heritage. One summer vacation, Ma and Baba surprised them with exciting news. We are going to Meghalaya, Baba announced with a smile. The land of clouds? Riya gasped, her eyes growing wide with excitement. Ma nodded. Yes, a magical place of waterfalls, forests, and villages so clean they almost sparkle. The journey itself felt like stepping into a fairy tale. As their car slowly climbed the winding mountain roads, the air became cooler and fresher. The warm city breeze was replaced by crisp mountain air, carrying the gentle scent of wet earth, pine trees, and fresh rain. Tall green hills rolled endlessly into the distance, while soft white clouds floated so low that they seemed close enough to touch. Riya stretched her hand out of the window. Look, the clouds are saying hello. She laughed as cool mist brushed gently across her fingers. Towering pine trees swayed softly in the breeze, their branches whispering to one another. Birds hidden among the forests sang cheerful songs, while tiny streams gurgled beside the road. Around another bend, a waterfall suddenly appeared, tumbling gracefully down the mountainside like a ribbon of liquid crystal. But the moment they reached Visadong Falls, both children became completely silent. Before them stood three magnificent layers of crystal clear water, flowing gently over giant golden brown rocks before collecting in a sparkling turquoise pool below. Sunlight danced across the moving water, like thousands of tiny diamonds. The cool breeze itself carried a fine mist that kissed their cheeks, while the soothing roar of the waterfall echoed gently through the peaceful forest. For a few moments, nobody spoke. It felt as though nature itself was quietly singing. It feels like someone painted this place by hand, Rishabh whispered. Riya carefully walked closer and knelt beside the water. She could see every tiny pebble resting peacefully at the bottom of the pool. Small fish darted between the rocks, and the water looked so clear that it was almost like looking through glass. Then something surprised them even more. Visitors were everywhere, laughing, taking photographs, and enjoying the beautiful scenery. Yet, not a single plastic bottle floated in the water. Not one wrapper hid beneath the rocks. No litter spoiled the peaceful beauty around them. Neat dustbins stood nearby, and people patiently carried their waste until they found one. Some even tucked empty wrappers into their bags instead of dropping them on the ground. Baba noticed the children looking around. Beautiful places stay beautiful only when people choose to protect them, he said gently. The next day, the family travelled to Cherrapunji, one of the wettest places on earth. The sky seemed wrapped in soft grey clouds. Sometimes the mist became so thick that the distant hills disappeared completely before slowly peeking out again, as though playing hide and seek with the sun. Tiny raindrops rested on leaves like sparkling pearls, and every flower looked freshly washed. Ma shared some fascinating facts along the journey. Did you know, she said, some bridges here aren't built with cement at all. They are grown from the living roots of giant trees. The forests are home to colorful birds, rare butterflies, playful insects, and sparkling streams full of life. And many villages teach children from a very young age that caring for nature is everyone's responsibility. Later that Sunday morning, the family visited a nearby village. As they drove through the misty hills, Ma smiled and said, Meghalaya is home to 3 major indigenous communities: the Khasi, the Garo, and the Jaintia people. For generations, they have lived in close harmony with nature. They believe the forests, rivers, hills, and animals are precious gifts that must be cared for. She pointed towards the rolling green hills. Did you know that Meghalaya is also home to Molinong, a village that is often called the cleanest village in Asia? The people there work together every day to keep their surroundings clean, beautiful, and healthy. That same spirit of caring for nature can be seen in many villages across Meghalaya. Riya looked out of the window with curiosity. So everyone helps take care of the village? She asked. Papa nodded. Yes, when everyone feels responsible, even small acts of care can keep a whole community beautiful. What they saw next stayed with them forever. The narrow stone pathways looked spotless. Flower baskets overflowed with bright red, yellow, and pink blossoms. Soon, villagers began stepping outside their homes, carrying brooms, bamboo baskets, watering cans, and gardening tools. Grandparents carefully swept the pathways. Teenagers gathered fallen leaves into neat little piles. Children watered colorful flowers growing beside homes and along the tiny stone paths. The gentle sound of sweeping brooms mixed with cheerful laughter and friendly conversations. Nobody looked unhappy. Nobody complained. Nobody waited for someone else to do the work. Everyone simply helped. Riya watched quietly. They're cleaning even the places outside their own homes, she said softly. An elderly Khasi woman nearby heard her. Her kind eyes crinkled into a warm smile. When the village is clean, she said gently, everyone's heart feels a little cleaner too. Those simple words settled quietly inside both the children. Before this journey, Rishabh had never really thought about where wrappers went after people threw them onto the roads. He had seen litter lying beside parks, floating in drains, and collecting near the rivers back home. Now, he understood something much bigger. Cleanliness isn't only about making a place look beautiful. It is about caring for birds that might mistake plastic for food. It is about keeping rivers clean so the fish can swim safely. It is about breathing fresh air, protecting nature, respecting others, and showing love for the world we all share. On their final evening, the family sat together on a hillside, wrapped in warm sweaters. Cool mountain air brushed gently across their faces. Soft clouds drifted slowly over the valleys below. Far away, waterfalls hummed their peaceful song, while birds slowly returned to their nests as the sky turned shades of orange and pink. Ma smiled. What will you remember the most? Riya looked towards the clouds. The cool mist, the sparkling water, and how peaceful everything felt. Rishabh thought quietly before answering. I'll remember that every small action matters. When the family returned to Kolkata, something inside both the children had changed. Rishabh began carrying a small paper bag in his backpack whenever they went out. If he couldn't find a dustbin, he kept his wrappers safely inside until he found one. Riya started watering the plants outside their apartment each evening. She gently reminded neighbors not to litter and smiled whenever someone used the dustbin. Soon, children from the lane began joining them every Sunday morning. Together, they cleaned the neighborhood park, planted flowers, picked up litter, and watched tiny butterflies begin to visit the park again. Little by little, their own corner of Kolkata became brighter, greener, and happier. And whenever dark clouds gathered before the rain, Rishabh and Riya would smile because they remembered Meghalaya, the magical land of waterfalls, forests, living bridges, and gentle clouds, where they discovered that keeping the world clean is one of the simplest, kindest, and most beautiful ways to show love for nature, for animals, for neighbors, and for one another. And with that, we come to the end of the story. Thank you for fluttering by with us. Maybe you giggled, maybe you wondered, maybe you simply paused for a while. However you listened, we are glad you did. And when your heart needs a little hush, or your soul longs to unwind, you'll always find a story waiting here just for you. This is the Fluttering Blue Butterflies, where every heart is welcome. See you again soon.